Hi, I'm Matt Dale. Welcome to the Quantum Leap podcast. I'm very excited today to be hosting the latest of our interviews with the cast and crew of the new series of Quantum Leap. I have with me here today Leo Sa, who is going to be in the first episode of the new series, playing a character which I'm sure he's going to tell us all about, and we'll be having a good discussion with him about that and also about his career to date. So, Leo, welcome, and thank you so much for your time joining us here on the podcast.
Hi, Matt. Thanks for having me.
Firstly, what can you tell us about the character? Because we're recording this a couple of weeks before it airs. I don't know anything about this character, so what can you share to help me along?
So I play Raymond's friend, or Dr. Ben's friend, former friend. So I met him in the military, or I'm a former military man. So I'm at his engagement party celebrating with him, and I'm with my wife. We just...
Great. So you're in the sort of the present day or near future or whatever of the project time. You're not
present day.
Present day. Okay, great.
There's so many time loops. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. That's part of the joy of Quantum Leap. You never know when you're involved in it, where or when you're going to be.
Yes.
But yeah, so you get to be part of an engagement party. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a bit about how you got the part, how you first came to be involved in the show.
I got the audition through my agent. It was actually the script that I got. It was just one line, just "Congratulations, Ben." But it's weird because it's just one-liners are actually harder than having like a whole script, because you're just like, how am I going to say it? And you just think too much. But I gave them 2 different takes, and I guess they obviously liked it. When I got to set, they gave me a new script, and it was actually more than just "Congratulations, Ben." So I was just like, oh, okay. It was really cool that I got more lines.
Fantastic.
But yeah, definitely. And the director, David, he was awesome. He worked with us really well. And yeah, he gave us, he gave us pointers what to do. Yeah.
I'm always interested. I mean, you mentioned about the fact, it's difficult to kind of create that character around one line. Did you go in there with any kind of a backstory or sort of extra bits to fill in the blanks?
Yeah, definitely. I actually have a friend named Ben, so I just put him in my mind and congratulating him on his engagement. And we were supposed to be at a party, and he was supposed to be this hip friend with music going on. So I just kind of, bobbed my head and congratulated him, and my wife's next to me. So, I just looked at her and kind of like just dancing with her a little bit. Imaginary wife next to me.
Yeah. Great. Did you, you mentioned that the director was really, David, was that?
David McWhirter, yes.
Did you get to work much with the regular cast? Obviously,
yes.
Got to interact with Raymond.
Yes. So the first episode, it was actually, even they were surprised and happy because it was all of them together in one place, finally filming together. Yeah, so they were all excited to see each other. But because of that, it took a very long time to film that episode, because it was all of them together in one room.
Yes. And I guess that's going to be another thing about the new series with Raymond separated off from everyone else. Those moments of everyone being together are going to be quite rare.
Exactly.
Did that feeling of camaraderie come across in the fact that you're there for a celebration, an engagement party? Did you feel that at all?
Oh yeah, definitely. And more than that, it was when we were rehearsing and stuff, and we had a lot of downtime. We were talking, and they were explaining to us that it was their first time together, and it was just this really exciting moment. So it was really good to be a part of that, and they were all extremely nice, and learned a lot of stuff from them.
Oh, it's good to hear. It's always nice to hear that the leads are kind of nice people, and I know they'd obviously gone and done the episode in Vancouver, so they've been working on the show a bit already. But if this was their first time on screen together, it's a big moment to be a part of.
Oh yeah.
Are you particularly familiar with the original series?
Not really, because Yeah, because I was actually born in Brazil, and I came here
Okay.
when I was like 6. So I think when I got here, I think it was like 1993 when I got here. And that's when it stopped. So,
Yes.
and I was only like, what, 6 years old?
Probably a
So
little young for it then at that point, yeah.
yeah,
And then
just missed it. But
in permanent syndication since. But yeah, okay,
yeah.
all right. Um, I might move on a little bit from Quantum Leap, if I may. I have to fanboy a little bit because I obviously did a bit of research before this interview. I checked out Xijang yesterday.
Okay.
I loved it. It was such a great little film. And I apologize if I'm springing this on you because you're
Mhm.
expecting a chat about Quantum Leap, but I'd love to hear some more about that because I noticed you were
Mhm.
in it, obviously, and
Mhm.
you also got writing and production credit. Can you tell me a bit more about the background of that as well?
Yes, it was for HBO. I think I forgot it was a 48 or 20, 24 hour or 48 hour. It was like a what do you call it? Like a short film contest. And me and my group of friends were just like, hey, why don't we do this? Let's try it out. And then just from scratch, we were just like, okay, well, let's think of an idea and everything. And then we got like the director and writer friends to help us out. And it was all of our first time doing our own project. So it was very exciting and challenging at the same time. But we had a lot of actor friends so to help us out. So we put it together. Luckily, I had at that time my friend had his own restaurant, so I asked him if he could borrow his restaurant. And
Perfect.
then my other friend who had his office, a warehouse, we used his warehouse, and it all just kind of came along like together perfectly. Yeah, and it was great.
You mentioned 24 hours, as in this was a 24-hour challenge, or
Yeah, I think it was 24-hour challenge. Yes, it was one of those HBO challenges. I forgot. It's been too long.
but I mean, but this was actually filmed in a compressed period of time. I assumed it was
Yes.
just filmed over a period of months, and maybe you were going
Oh
back to
no.
different. Oh
No.
wow, okay,
Yeah, yeah. We had to rush everything. Just like
yeah. It doesn't show. It's a very polished little piece. It's on Vimeo, so we'll post a link to it as part of the release on YouTube because I think everyone should see it. It's a really lovely piece and the performances are great. So yeah, really really great to know more about that. I did notice as well you have done a few short films. Is there something about that kind of art form that appeals to you? Do you specifically aim for short films?
no, like for beginners, like you have to kind of pursue that also. Like there's to get an agent and like it's like a building up your resume. So short films definitely was like my gateway to getting a better agent and manager and then leading up to
Right.
yeah. So
That was definitely one the kind of feeling I got from Xijang. It was a lovely story, but also it showcased the performances of everyone individually. I did feel like
mhm,
it was almost like that, but in a really good way.
yeah.
Um, Great, okay. And do you have any upcoming projects that you'd like to tell us about?
Yeah, it's going to be called Emerald, I believe, on Netflix, but right now I think they're calling it Griselda Blanco. It's about Griselda, the cocaine godmother, who's played by Sofia Vergara. And that will be, I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out, but either end of this year or early next year.
Okay,
But yeah,
all right.
I play one of the cops. So it was actually exciting because it's part of the Narcos and Narcos Mexico, like the scene.
Yeah,
Um, I never seen any Asian because it's all like Latinas, Hispanic, Colombians.
yeah,
But I was surprised and I was super blessed to be part of that. And yeah, it was an
great.
amazing experience. And yeah, the director Andreas Weiss, he was amazing. Like he's I
Yeah,
think one of the most like humble director I've ever met.
fabulous, fabulous. We'll definitely we'll look out for that. Um, all right. So you say you're obviously you have this history with Ben, so you've got a friendship with him. can we assume perhaps that your character might recur when we're seeing maybe more of the future, maybe more flashbacks to the future? Do you think
Yeah,
you'll
I
be
was
back?
actually I was actually talking with Raymond about that, but because of the whole quantum leap and
Yeah.
loop, most likely I won't be. But depending on who knows, you never know. But most likely not.
Okay. Well, we
But yeah,
hear there's going to be a lot more set in the future than there was. The original series was all very much set in the past. They seem to be doing more in the future, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
yeah,
It'll
definitely.
be good to see you back.
Yeah, I mean everyone was amazing. Like Nanrisa, I learned so much from her, and then Raymond. Everyone was very accommodating, and they taught me a lot of stuff. Like being on set before, like they even were like landed this part, like how they struggled and everything. It was the stories were all really great. Learned a lot from them. Very humbling.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us talking about your experience. Definitely feel like I've got more of an insight now into what that first episode is going to be about, or what that scene's going to be about. Lovely to hear your recollections, and really good to hear that you've got some upcoming projects as well and some work that we can keep an eye out for. As I say, as a new fan of Xijang, I'll be making sure that Vimeo link goes in the comments. Everyone should check that out. And thank you again for your time. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we will be having loads more interviews coming up over the next couple of months with different members of the cast and crew. Thank you again, Leo. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt.
Cheers.